excellent month ahead, B'ezrat Hashem. Boker Tov, continuing now with where we left off and where we began yesterday with Halachot of Lashon Hara Rechilut. So today is section 1, introduction. What is Lashon Hara? This is the Chafetz Chaim also begins in a similar note, and the question is beyond just what it is, and on the second level is why is it Asur? So first and foremost, let's discuss the categories of the Isurim. What is Lashon Hara? So the Chafetz Chaim explains very simply and very importantly, Lashon Hara is a communication between two or more people that is derogatory or may bring about negative consequences to another person or group. So there's two things that the Chafetz Chaim emphasizes here. First and foremost, obviously, negative. Something that's derogatory, that's negative. And the second clause is that can cause harm to a person or a group. So he explains there are two types, and the author brings two examples. He says the first one is obviously clear, and it's what we all think of when we say Lashon Hara, is a statement that is inherently or socially negative. For example, to say someone is a thief or he's a liar, even though there's no harm caused to the subject when I call him a thief or a liar, this when I disclose the fact that he stole in the past, that it itself is Lashon Hara. The very act of focusing on and expressing negative, something negative about someone else is Lashon Hara and is forbidden. That's obvious, and that's what we've grown up hearing and understanding what Lashon Hara to be. The Rabbeinu Yonah explains this, the Rambam explains this, and it's a very basic and a fundamental principle with Lashon Hara. Now, the second category of Lashon Hara is a statement that's not necessarily derogatory, but has the capacity, it's able to cause pain or damage to the subject that's being spoken about. So what's this? An example for this is a person, for example, if you reveal to a group of people, to a person, something about someone's past, but it wasn't necessarily negative, but what I said could cause him harm, could hurt him in the future, or can embarrass him in the future if it became publicly known. So this is the source for this is actually in Gemara Masechet Shabbat. They bring it over here. They say Rav Yehuda ben Gerim repeated a statement in his home that I think it was Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. That Rabban Shimon bar Yochai said about the Romans. Okay, at home this rabbi said something about that Rabban Shimon ben Yochai said about the Romans. Then what happened? This word, what Rabban Shimon ben Yochai said, spread and eventually got back to the Roman government and caused Rabban Shimon and Rabbi Elazar to both suffer greatly. The Chachamim say, the outline, the Kesef Mishnah and the Chafetz Chaim point to this story in the Gemara saying he didn't say anything negative. He just said something generic, which in turn spread and caused them, his father and his son, to suffer at the hands of the Romans. That's considered Lashon Hara. So we see the two categories are obviously derogatory or something that can cause pain. And we'll wrap up with this. This is the number one. The Chafetz Chaim explains that this is probably the number one mistake people make with Lashon Hara, and we'll say it many times. We'll start off today. Even if it's true, Lashon Hara is not if it's false or if it's a lie. We'll talk about that tomorrow in upcoming days. Even if a statement is completely true, it is nevertheless Lashon Hara if it falls into either of these two categories that we just explained. The Chafetz Chaim says, like I said, this is the first and foremost mistake that anyone makes. They try to justify, say it's true. That's exactly Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is about the truth. It could be derogatory or something that can cause harm. We'll continue with B'ezrat Hashem tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.